As the applause faded, something magical happened. A gifted blind pianist from North Korea and a blind Welsh music student quietly made their way to the grand piano. With no prior rehearsal, they sat side by side and began to play. "It's time to say goodbye." The melody was rich, haunting, and filled with emotion. Yes, welcome to Doc Wales Diaries. It's always a privilege to have you journey with me as I reflect on moments that defy borders and soften the hardest of hearts. In this episode, we witness something rare, a quiet revolution born not of politics, but of piano keys and shared humanity. We welcome the North Korea disabled performance team to Wales. And what begins as a concert becomes a communion. It's a story about unexpected harmony between cultures, between strangers, between lives once overlooked. It's about a blind pianist from Pyongyang and a young Welsh musician finding common ground in a single song. It's about friendships formed in music halls and sports halls and hope smuggled into the soul through a soprano's voice. It's about the kind of transformation that doesn't make headlines, but it does change hearts. This is the story of a Welsh welcome that echoed all the way back to the streets of Pyongyang. Who could forget that extraordinary winter evening in early 2017 when something truly remarkable unfolded in the heart of Cardiff? The Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama opened its doors and its heart to a group few in the United Kingdom have ever encountered, the North Korean disabled performance team. What brought them here was just more than logistics. It was a friendship, one born out of years of quiet perseverance. My bond with Moon Chol Kim, affectionately known as My Cornelius, and the connection through Suk-hee Lee helped me weave together the unlikely tapestry of North Korean performers and Welsh hosts. The college's director and staff embraced the vision, and the door of Stoutsko Hall filled to capacity with curious and open-minded guests. The main performance went smoothly, flawlessly even, but it was what happened afterward that would leave a permanent mark on everyone present. As the applause faded, something magical happened. A gifted blind pianist from North Korea and a blind Welsh music student quietly made their way to the grand piano. With no prior rehearsal, they sat side by side and began to play "It's Time to Say Goodbye," made famous by Sarah Brightman. The melody was rich, haunting, and filled with emotion. Then a new voice joined them, the blind soprano from the North Korea troupe. Her voice soared through the hall, tender and strong, weaving its way into the hearts of the audience. No one moved. No one wanted to break the spell. It was more than music. It was communion. Strangers separated by politics and oceans were suddenly and beautifully united by art. There was no translation needed for what we all felt. Tears were shed, smiles were exchanged, and for a few unforgettable moments, the world was as it ought to be. that moment wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. The group travelled to Oxford, where my friend Reverend Steve Jones of 360 All Ability Sports joined me to continue building bridges. Steve Jones had a gold ball coaching session with the blind students, an event filled with laughter, teamwork, and joy. He also delivered life-changing gifts from the widow of Peter Jackson, the renowned Welsh blind pianist, a braille printer, an adapted computer, and a brailler for the Tedong School for the Blind. These were more than just tools. They were promises of opportunity and hope. Later that year, I found myself in Pyongyang visiting KFPD's performance studio. A ballet was in rehearsal. The lead performer, a man in a wheelchair, danced in the wheelchair with such grace and strength that I was left in awe. His team, every member of it disabled, matched him step by step. They were rewriting what it meant to be seen and celebrated in North Korea. There I shared a simple song they had never heard before, Amazing Grace. The pianist, who had been in Cardiff, now back home, sat once again at the keys. He played it by ear, absorbing the melody quickly. The room was silent except for the music. Deeply moved, I had only wished I had more time and more ability to help them learn the words and understand their profound meaning. In North Korea, people with disabilities were once hidden away, seen as unable to contribute to the collective good. But these performers, through their talent and now visibility, were changing perceptions. They actually became national celebrities, heroes of a quiet revolution. One moment stays with me especially. The blind accordion player we had hosted in Cardiff was given a hero's send-off at Pyongyang airport. Almost everyone in his housing block came to wave him goodbye. That's the power of dignity restored. The journey didn't happen overnight. It began in 2006 when I first met Munchol. Since then, through Wheat Mission and partners across the globe, so much has been achieved. For example, orthopedic surgeries, cleft palate repairs, cochlear implants for deafness, physical therapy taught by pioneers like Philomena Commons, Heather Angeli, and Dr. Angela Moore. Greenhouses built to nourish orphans and KFPT centres. Support for the blind and deaf school, including the full reconstruction of the destroyed school for the deaf in Onsung Kun. Sports programs led by international experts. Orthoses workshops pioneered by Matthias Roller. Cooperation with Pyongyang University of Science and Technology, PUST, and the dream of establishing Kim Man-yu Hospital as a model for medical care. There's a line from a song that resonates with me. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? This journey has been full of dreams, some achieved, others still waiting. And though it's taken relentless work, rejection, suspicion, both from East and West, and even personal hardship, such as the stroke I suffered in July 2018, while trying to return to Pyongyang with Matthias Roller, I do remain committed. As Paul writes in Philippians 1:14, because of my change, most of the brothers and sisters have become confident in the Lord and dare all the more to proclaim the gospel without fear. Even in adversity, I've seen God's hand turning difficulty into beauty. In our final episode of Doc Wales Diaries, I'll share the vision for a medical school in Pyongyang, a dream that seemed impossible but now might be just within reach. Hey, until then, may you continue to believe that music can cross borders, that kindness can shift cultures, and that even the smallest act of faith can echo louder than fear. Keep pressing on. Hey, we're not done yet. Bless you always, Doc Wales.